I solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And if I am found to be lying, I accept prosecution under the full extent of the sports law. This is episode 10 of Sports in Order. I'm the attorney at sports. This is my courtroom. What's going on, guys? Again, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Sports in Order. Episode 10. Whoo, baby. Now we're making some progress. Damn, though, it's still only June. I guess it's about to be July, beginning of July. It's just like, oh my gosh, is it August yet? Is it the beginning of August? Like, that's the best time of year. Honestly, in my opinion, end of August, beginning of September is the best time of year. End of August, Madden comes out. Oh, man. Don't even start with Madden. I'll bust all you guys in Madden. Anybody who wants to challenge me to Madden, send me a DM, let me know. As long as it's on Xbox One, we could play. You're going to get crushed. But anyway, yeah, end of August, Madden season. Football season's right there. Fantasy football season. Oh, there's nothing better, man. And I'm only 24 years old, so, I'm still in the prime of my life in terms of, going out to the clubs and whatnot. And in the summer, that's when you're supposed to go out the most. But, I don't even care. I want to just fast forward. I want to fast forward right to September. I could care less about the summer. That's how much I love fantasy football. That's how much I love football season in general. Oh, nothing better than the fall, man. And not even football season, the fall. It's the beginning of playoff baseball. October, the NBA season starts. It's just the summer, man. It's cool, sit outside by the sun and by the pool and by the beach. But, nah, the summer doesn't do it for me. The fall, that's what I need the most. And yeah, man, like I say, I keep telling you guys, I'm preaching patience with you guys with Sports in Order because, each episode is it's kind of getting tedious because, again, it's not really fantasy football season yet. But I'm telling you, starting next month, end of July, beginning of August, that's when Sports in Order is really going to start, getting serious. I'm going to give you mock drafts each week to help you with your mock drafts and your drafts. And it's gonna get good. No question about it. But as usual, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe to the World of Sports Network YouTube channel. That would really help me out. That'd be greatly appreciated. But today on Sports in Order, I'm gonna give you 10 sleepers. Not just the normal sleeper, but fairly deep sleepers. Players that you're just like, nah, I don't want nothing to do with him. But if you have some patience and end up picking this player, he could help you and he could really reward you. And towards the end of your season, he could really be the guy, the difference maker, and either making the playoffs or not making the playoffs. Then I bring you knucklehead New York Knicks fans into the interrogation room. Not just one Knicks fan, but every Knicks fan in the world. I bring them all into the interrogation room. And then, as usual, what's the case on the base of my players to add in fantasy baseball? So, the drill. We got no time to waste. Let's get right to it. All right, 10 deep sleepers. A sleeper player is a player that, people are sleeping on him. That's really the sleeper is really, it's self-explanatory. People are not really thinking about this player. People are not giving this player credit. They're just sleeping on him, not thinking about him. But this player or these players can really help you out and really could put up good numbers. It's just, whether it be they haven't done it in the past or they're new to a team, you don't know how they're going to respond to that new team. It's just a bunch of different scenarios make a player a sleeper. But a sleeper is someone that's being slept on, but it's time for you to wake up and start realizing that this player, needs to be acknowledged. Number 1, Donte Moncrief, Jacksonville Jaguars. This kid's so talented, man. But over the last 2 years, he only has 56 catches for 698 yards in 21 games. So, there's 16 games in the season. 16 times 16 is 26, 32. So in 2 seasons, he's only played 21 games out of 32. So the injuries have really hindered him. And again, only 56 catches for 698 yards. But listen, he's got the perfect skill set. And he's only 25 years old. Plus, the Jaguars gave him a fully $9.6 million guaranteed contract. So usually when a player has that much money guaranteed, they're going to get an opportunity to start. And that's what's going to happen in Jacksonville with Moncrief. He's going to get the opportunity to start. Because, they got Marquise Lee. They have last year's pick, D.D. Westbrook. But none of those players are really, ahead of the pack. It's not like, Marquise Lee is head and shoulders above Donte Moncrief. So Donte Moncrief is going to get the opportunity, to be the guy in Jacksonville. Granted, he's going from Andrew Luck throwing him the ball to Blake Bortles throwing him the ball. And you probably think to yourself, damn, if Donte Moncrief couldn't produce with Luck throwing him the ball, how's he going to produce? He's going to produce with Blake Bortles throwing him the ball. Well, like I just mentioned, in Indianapolis, he was injured a lot. He wasn't really healthy, and he was still young, still immature. But now I think with coming to a new team, realizing this league is a business and you don't have a lot of opportunities and chances, I think he's gonna put it all together in Jacksonville and put up some good, solid fantasy football numbers in Jacksonville. Number 2, Eric Ebron from the Colts. This is another kid with talent, man. He's so athletic, but he's so big as well. He's got that catch radius. It doesn't matter where you throw it to him, he's gonna catch the ball. He reminds me of Travis Kelce, though, athletically. He's another one of those athletic tight ends. A matchup nightmare, so you can put him in the slot, put him outside against a safety or a linebacker. It don't matter, because Eric Ebron, athletically, he's got the athleticism to be a difference maker in the passing game. But he's got to be used the right way. And I think now, with the new head coach of the Indianapolis Colts, Frank Reich, who was the quarterback's coach last year for the Philadelphia Eagles, I think he was quarterback's coach or offensive coordinator. One of them. He was one of the guys in charge of last year's Philadelphia Eagles offense. And you know who the tight end for that Eagles team was, right? Zach Ertz. And Reich and the Eagles offense, they used Ertz all over the formation, creating mismatches and getting Ertz into space. And I think they're going to do the same thing with Eric Ebron, because his Colts offense, minus T.Y. Hilton, it's devoid of playmakers. There's not many playmakers on that Colts offense. Yes, Jack Doyle's still there, but he's more of a solid tight end, a reliable tight end. But, if Eric Ebron's head is on straight and he's used the right way and he's motivated, motivated to play with a quarterback like Andrew Luck, he's gonna get the opportunities, no doubt about it. Frank Reich already said that Eric Ebron is an elite tight end, so Ebron's gonna get the opportunities. It's all about if he wants to take advantage of those opportunities. But I think he can. I think he will. I think he's got the skill set to be an elite tight end. It's time for Eric Ebron to put it all together in Indianapolis. Number 3, Devante Booker, Denver Broncos. I think this Denver backfield is going to be Devante Booker's. I think he's going to get, the high dosage of carries in that Broncos offense, in that Broncos backfield, because they lost C.J. Anderson. Jamal Charles is a non-factor. And I've been saying this for a couple years since he was drafted. Devante Booker has the skill set to be a 3-down back. Now, has he put it all together and shown that he can be a 3-down back? No. And that, for me, with Devante Booker, and for him to be on the field for all 3 downs for that Broncos offense, he's going to have to prove to the coaching staff that he can catch the ball. Because running the ball for the first 2 downs, that's cool. That's what a running back's supposed to do. But what makes a running back, what allows coaching staffs to keep a running back on the field for 3rd down is two things. One, he can catch the ball very well out of the backfield. And 2, he's a great pass protector. He's great at picking up blitzes. A lot of running backs can't pick up a blitz. A lot of running backs can't, help the quarterback and stay in it and pass protect. So if Devante Booker can prove to do those 2 things, catch the ball out of the backfield and protect the quarterback, pass protect, Devante Booker will be a 3-down back in the Denver Broncos offense. And again, 3-down backs, they're hard to come by. So if you can find one, and Devante Booker is that guy, hey, take a chance on him. Number 4, Mike Williams, Los Angeles Chargers. Now, I think in this Chargers offense, he's going to be the go-to guy in the red zone. He could be Phillip Rivers' next Vincent Jackson or the next Malcolm Floyd. Those two guys that Phillip Rivers loved utilizing in the red zone because they were big and they had a big catch radius. And they would just go up and get the ball, no matter where Phillip Rivers threw it. And I think that's Mike Williams. Hunter Henry's out for the year, so I think the Chargers are going to use 3 wide receiver sets, and that means that Mike Williams is going to be one of the starters along with Keenan Allen and either Tyrell Williams or Travis Benjamin. But Mike Williams is a 1st-round pick, man, 7th overall. He's going to get the chance. He's going to get the chance to be the guy for the Chargers. And last year, between Antonio Gates and Hunter Henry, inside the 10-yard line, 42% of the Chargers' targets went to Gates and Henry. Gates and Henry are not here anymore. So that's 42% of the targets that have to go to somebody else. And I think a lot of those targets are going to, if not all of them, are going to go to Mike Williams. Because in the red zone, you want somebody that's big and going to go up and get the ball, and that's Mike Williams. Number 5, Allen Hurns, Dallas Cowboys. He's replacing Dez as the Cowboys' default number one receiver. Last year, Dez had 6 touchdowns, receiving touchdowns. Those 6 receiving touchdowns got to go to somebody. And again, Allen Hurns is the number one receiver for Dallas by default. But it doesn't matter. By default and by not default, he's in there. He's going to be the guy. So he's got to catch the ball now. Do you think Zeke is going to get every single touchdown? Do you think like every time the Cowboys are in the red zone, it's going to go to Zeke? You think Zeke's going to have 100 touchdowns? I don't think so. And just remember, in 2015, Allen Hurns had 1,031 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns. Yeah, let me repeat that for you. In 2015, Allen Hurns had 1,031 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns. The talent is there for Allen Hurns. The injuries in 2016 and 2017 really, really hindered Allen Hurns. But, man, the talent's there, evidenced by his breakout season in 2015. And, they also lost Jason Witten. The Cowboys also lost Jason Witten. So, there's a lot of targets up for grabs in that Dallas offense. I mean, last year alone, Dez Bryant had 132 targets. That's 132 targets just at the wide receiver position that got to go to somebody. And my guy is Allen Hurns. That's who I think majority of those targets are going to go to. 6th, Kelvin Benjamin. It's kind of the same situation as Allen Hurns in Dallas. Who else is going to steal targets from Kelvin Benjamin in that Buffalo Bills offense? Shady McCoy? Shady McCoy will get his catches, no question. But in terms of wide receivers, the target's got to go to somebody. I mean, this Bills offense is not going to be really it still will be a run-first offense because of a rookie quarterback and Josh Allen, but it's not. The Bills aren't going to have a quarterback that's a run-first quarterback like Tyrod Taylor was. So, now they're going to get more of a passer-friendly offense, and when you have a passer-friendly offense, usually a receiver benefits the most. And I think that's going to be Kelvin Benjamin. He's going to dominate the target share in Buffalo. It's not even going to be close. So if you could live with the inconsistent games in terms of not scoring a lot of touchdowns, and some games where he only gets 3 or 4 targets, that's fine. But there's going to be some games where Kelvin Benjamin gets 10 to 12 targets because there's no other receiver for the Bills quarterback to target. So just take that chance with Kelvin Benjamin because he's gonna have a solid season in Buffalo because there's no one else in Buffalo to have a solid season at the wide receiver position. Number 7, Jordan Matthews, New England Patriots. He killed a lot of people last year, but he was stuck in Buffalo. Again, like I just mentioned with Kelvin Benjamin, he was stuck in Buffalo with a run-first quarterback, Tyrod Taylor. Now he gets to play with Tom Brady, TB12. Last year, the Bills were 31st in pass attempts, dead last in passing yards. Yeah, it's crazy. You guys don't understand how bad the Buffalo Bills passing offense has been. Last year, 31st in pass attempts, 31st, and dead last in passing yards per game. Man, the Patriots the last 3 seasons, they've been top 5 in passing yards. So, now Julian Edelman is out for 4 games. No more Brandon Cooks, who last year received 114 targets. No more Danny Amendola, who last year received 86 targets. That's 200 targets up for grabs. And remember now, he was productive in Philly. 2014, Jordan Matthews' rookie year. 67 receptions, 872 yards, 8 touchdowns. 2015, 85 receptions, 997 yards, and 8 touchdowns. And then 2016, 73 receptions, 804 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So he was productive in Philly with solid quarterback play, and he went to Buffalo where there was no solid quarterback play, and his numbers suffered. But he's got to stay healthy, and he's only 25 years old, and he's playing with an elite quarterback whose top receiver is going to be out for 4 games. I'll take a chance on Jordan Matthews, no question about it. Number 8, Martavis Bryant. It was time for a change for Martavis. It's that simple. In Pittsburgh, I feel like there was too much pressure on Martavis Bryant, whether to produce or whether to keep his head on straight. He couldn't really just focus on football. Now he comes to Oakland where he can just focus on football. Nobody knows him out there in Oakland. There's no pressure on for him. He's just going to go out there and play. And I think John Gruden is going to, make sure he keeps his head on straight. He's going to get the best out of him. And remember, from 2014 to 2015 with Martavis Bryant, 21 games between those 2 years. He scored 14 touchdowns. 14 touchdowns in 21 games. The guy, Martavis Bryant, man, if nothing else, he's an elite touchdown scorer. And the Raiders could use that because Amari Cooper is a good receiver, doesn't really score touchdowns. Jordy Nelson, we don't know what he's gonna show, how healthy he's gonna be coming off a lost season. So Martavis Bryant can no question step into that role as the go-to guy for the Raiders in the red zone, as long as his head is on straight. I think John Gruden is gonna make sure Martavis Bryant's head is on straight. Number 9, Kenny Golladay, Detroit Lions. As the season goes on, I think Kenny Golladay is going to slowly make his way into that number 2 receiver role for the Detroit Lions. Right now it's Marvin Jones. I think Marvin Jones is, a good receiver, but an inconsistent receiver at best, a one-trick pony. But I think Kenny Golladay, man, I think he's going to be the guy for the Detroit Lions. I think, Golden Tate is always going to be the PPR threat, the guy that gets all the catches, but I think Kenny Golladay is going to be the Lions' touchdown scorer. In the red zone, Kenny Galladay's big, man, 6'4". You're going to throw it up to him, he's going to come down and get it. You can't do that with Golden Tate, but you can do that with Kenny Golladay. Last year, in just 473 snaps with Detroit, Kenny Golladay had 28 catches, 477 yards, and 3 touchdowns. As of now, he has the number 3 receiver job, locked up. There's no competition for that job. But as the season goes on, Kenny Golladay is going to become a bigger and bigger factor. So draft him, and just be patient at first, because as the season continues and the season progresses, Kenny Golladay is going to start to get the opportunities and start to put up the numbers. And number 10, Marlon Mack, Indianapolis Colts. This kid's a freak athlete, man. If you look at his combine numbers, freak, man. Jumps, is quick, explosive. But he wasn't really utilized because, the Colts had Frank Gore, the old OG, the guy that, it's Frank Gore. You're going to give him the ball, no doubt about it. But now no more Frank Gore. It's his backfield now. And Frank Reich, the head coach for the Colts, last year in Philly, he utilized his running backs all over the formation and exclusively in the passing game. And Marlon Mack can catch the ball, no question about it. So I think Frank Reich is going to find ways to get Marlon Mack the ball in space, screens, passes out of the backfield, whatever it may be. Marlon Mack's going to be used, not only running the ball, but catching the ball as well. And who's going to be throwing the ball? Andrew Luck. So, take a chance on Marlon Mack, because he is the guy in Indianapolis. He's going to get a lot of catches. He's going to get a lot of opportunities. What more can you ask for? Oh, baby, you know what time it is. My favorite segment of the show. It's the Interrogation Room. And in today's episode, in today's segment of the Interrogation Room, I bring every single Knicks fan into the Interrogation Room. Knicks fans are known worldwide for being knuckleheads. Let's not sugarcoat it. And I'm a Knicks fan. Call me a knucklehead? Fine, but I'm a realistic Knicks fan. That's why I'm going to have you Knicks fans who aren't realistic into the Interrogation Room. Let me repeat this, guys. Respect the process. I've been saying that since David Fizdale got hired. Actually, I've been saying that since Scott Perry got hired. Respect the process. It's a process. You see that last word, process. Like Sports in Order, it's a process. To get where Sports in Order needs to be, it's a process. And to get where the Knicks need to be, it's a process. I don't understand how you Knicks fans are booing and bashing this Kevin Knox pick. I'm really in shock on how you could blast a pick like this. This is probably the Knicks' smartest pick. It's probably the smartest draft, the smartest pick Knicks have made since Patrick Ewing in 1985. But that was a no-brainer, Patrick Ewing, everybody knew he was going first overall. It was just a matter of which team was going to get the first overall pick. So that was a no-brainer, but it's probably the smartest draft pick the Knicks have made since Patrick Ewing. You know why? Because Scott Perry has a plan and has a vision. And he's not going to let anybody detour that plan and detour that vision. I think Scott Perry has heard my respect the process slogan and phrase. Good job, Scott. You could have that slogan. Just know that I created it. The attorney created it. And he's not letting anybody get in the way. If Scott Perry listened to you knucklehead Knicks fans and aborted the process, he would have selected Michael Porter Jr. And I would have been furious. Now, let's just look at Michael Porter Jr. Let's look at the resume. There really isn't a resume besides from high school, because he only played a few games in college. So you look at his high school hoop tape, his hoop highlight tape. It's ridiculous, man. Michael Porter's a grown man in high school, dunking, shooting fadeaways, shooting from 40 feet, like a young Kevin Durant. But he comes to Missouri, he has the back injuries, and the pre-combine, he had the hip injuries. And I just feel as a Knicks team that's been so dysfunctional and hasn't really hit on many draft picks and just has got burnt by a lot of draft picks and a lot of free agents, mind you, because of injuries. I just feel like the Knicks couldn't take another chance on a player with these type of injury concerns and injury question marks, especially when we're waiting for our franchise player, KP, to come back from injury. So honestly, that's why I say this is the smartest pick, one of the smartest picks ever for the Knicks, because they didn't reach. They stuck to their vision. They stuck to their plan. And I love that. And I'm so happy. But this Kevin Knox kid, man, 18 years old. 18! Doesn't turn 19 until August. I can't even imagine 18. I'm 24, man. 18, that's crazy. But here's what I love about it. He hasn't even hit his stride yet. He doesn't know the type of player he is. The Knicks don't know the type of player he is. And that's why this is great, because now the Knicks have a chance to develop this kid and develop him into the player that they want him to be. That's why great. Fizdale. Fizdale's so happy right now. And this is why it was great for the Knicks to hire a player development coach. Coach Fizdale is known for developing players and working well with the younger players. And that's young. Kevin Knox is 18. If that's not young, I don't know what young is. So now Fizz is going to get this kid right, man. He's so raw. Oh, man. Fizz is probably foaming at the mouth. Look at all the ways that he can use Kevin Knox. So, and in today's game of basketball, which is positionless, Coach Fizz even said he doesn't want to really have positions. Kevin Knox is the perfect guy to have on your team because he's 6'9", long, athletic, over 7-foot wingspan. But I mentioned athletic, can handle the ball, can attack the rim, can operate in the pick and roll, can come off screens and shoot, can shoot wide open. There's just so many ways you can use this Kevin Knox kid in a positionless game. In a 6'9" line, in a small ball lineup, he could be the 6'9" center, but he's going to be way too athletic for that center that's covering him because he's quick. He's going to take that 6'9", he's going to take that center out to the perimeter and go to work on him. And then in a big lineup with KP at center, you could have Kevin Knox at the small forward position. 6'9", small forward. Who's the best small forward in the game today? Top two, LeBron and KD. They're 6'8". LeBron's 6'8". We'll say KD's 7 foot. He is. Nobody wants to give KD the credit, but KD's 7 foot. LeBron's 6'8", so we'll just use LeBron. Kevin Knox is 6'9". And I'm not saying taking anything away from LeBron. No disrespect to LeBron. He's pretty much unguardable. But when you have somebody that's taller than LeBron, but it's just as athletic, again, not just athletic, but when you have somebody that's 6'9", but athletic, that's your best remedy for guarding LeBron. Because Kevin Knox is 6'9" and long and athletic. And in today's game, especially in the Eastern Conference, you got to be able to guard LeBron. And, the Knicks can't have Courtney Lee guarding LeBron, Courtney Lee's 6'5". Knicks can't have Tim Hardaway Jr. guarding LeBron. Tim Hardaway Jr. is 6'5". You needed this pick. Kevin Knox is perfect. The perfect chess piece for Coach Fizdale's offense. Oh, man. Today's game, you have the point forwards. You have the Draymonds. You have the Giannis's. You have the Ben Simmonses. You have obviously the best point forward in the game, LeBron James. A point forward is somebody that's big, height, has the height requirement to be a forward, whether it be 6'8", 6'9", but handles the ball like a point guard and can initiate the offense like a point guard, whether it be making the right pass, making the right shot, attacking the basket, getting the pick and roll in order, just getting the offense set to where it needs to be. And usually that's the point guard's job. But when you have somebody that's 6'9" and is a mismatch nightmare for everybody and has the feel for the game and can see the floor, that's your point forward. Because a point forward causes so many problems for the opposing defense. Because he's dribbling up the ball and you're like, oh, this guy's 6'9", what's he going to do? And then you're like, he's not athletic, he's not going to take me. And then he, boom, drives right by you to the rim. Oh, he's 6'9", he can't shoot. Hits a three in your face. And that's what I think Kevin Knox could be. I think Kevin Knox could be the Knicks version of, I'm not going to say Draymond because Draymond's an elite defender. Kevin Knox isn't an elite defender yet. But I'll say, I'm not saying Kevin Knox is on these players' level, but I think Kevin Knox could be the Knicks version of Giannis, the Greek Freak. if used the right way. That's what scares me with the Knicks. Because the Knicks, again, it's a new regime, and I love this regime. They have a process, respect the process. But the Knicks in the past have not used players the right way. They haven't developed players the right way. Whether it be, that player got injured, that player was playing out of position, that the Knicks traded that player. It is a bunch of nonsense with the Knicks organization. And I think now the Knicks finally, again, I keep going back to this. The Knicks have a plan, they have a vision, and they're sticking to it. I'm just so happy they didn't draft Michael Porter Jr. I'm just so happy because the Knicks' luck. You know what would have happened. You know what would have happened, Knicks fans, if the Knicks would have drafted Michael Porter Jr. It's already happening with KP. The Knicks just have the worst luck, man. You could draft a superstar. The Knicks could draft a superstar who's never been injured in his entire career, going back to, Little League or high school, whatever, never been injured. But the second he gets the second he puts on that orange and blue, the injuries start to pile up. The second he steps foot in that garden, the injuries start to pile up. The second he signs that contract that says, I am now a member of the New York Knicks, a.k.a. the most dysfunctional organization in the NBA, the injuries start to pile up. And Michael Porter Jr. had the injury concerns before the draft. If the Knicks would have drafted him, oh, God, he would have broke his leg on the way to the press conference. Oh, man. He would have got hit by a car in New York City. Oh, man. Oh. Thank goodness, man. Thank goodness the Knicks did not draft Michael Porter Jr. Again, the kid has all the talent in the world. Health-wise, that's a question mark. But talent-wise, it's not a question with Michael Porter Jr. The kid's super talented. Has the potential to beat Kevin Durant. Well, based off offensively, Kevin Durant. Defensively, I don't think we've seen a player that could be like Michael Porter Jr. defensively because he's 6'11". Another 6'11" guy, but athletic and long. When it's all said and done, just looking at his frame and his body and his length, Michael Porter Jr. could be one of the best defenders of all time. But again, you could as long as you're tall and you have the size and you have the athleticism, you could always become a good defender. But it's all about, do you want to become a good defender? Do you want to put the effort in to become a good defender? So again, I say Michael Porter Jr. can be a good defender if he wants to. That's to be determined. But offensively, if he's healthy, he's going to put the ball in the bucket. No question. He could average 20 points a game from the jump, from his rookie year. That's how talented he is offensively. But I'm cool. Man, if I watch the Knicks this year and I see Kevin Knox, he's struggling a little bit. He's getting into the groove. But I see Kevin Knox over there in Denver averaging 22 points a game, during his rookie season. Am I going to be upset? Not at all. You know why? Because the Knicks are in a rebuilding mode, and they're sticking to their process, and they're respecting their process. We didn't need Michael Porter Jr. to average 22 points a game for us this year, because where would it have gotten us? Might have won us a few more games, and we would have lost out on a higher draft pick. So Michael Porter Jr. was a team that is ready to win now. That's the type of team that could have used Michael Porter Jr. And the Denver Nuggets, they're ready to win now. They missed the playoffs by one game. Great pick. Best pick of the first round. Looking at the talent of the player and the team that drafted him. Knicks fans, you have to know this, man. It would have made no sense for the Knicks to draft Michael Porter Jr. Why? He would have put up crazy numbers next year? All right, look at it like this, Knicks fans. Next year, this is his rookie year, his only healthy year. Let's say that would have been his only healthy year in his career. But it would have been the year that the Knicks don't need him. We don't need him because that's the year that we're going through our rebuilding process without KP. So Michael Porter Jr. would average 25 points a game with the Knicks during his rookie season. Didn't matter. Still in the lottery. Still got a high first-round pick. And then the rest of his career, he's injured. He's Grant Hill. That would have been what happened. That would have been the Knicks' luck. Draft him, has a great rookie year, healthy rookie year, but the Knicks don't need him to have a great, healthy rookie year because his rookie year is when the Knicks don't need him. And then his second year, his third year, his fourth year, when the Knicks really are counting on him to contribute, he's nowhere to be found because he's in the ice bath or he's on the trainer's table. So again, thank you, Knicks, for making me happy for once and not picking Michael Porter Jr., and sticking to the process and respecting the process and picking Kevin Knox Jr. Again, Knicks fans, we're going through a process. It's hard. It's tough. It's grueling. We know it. We're New Yorkers, baby. We want to win. We want to win. But I'm going to tell you, Knicks fans, one more time. Stop being knuckleheads. Stop booing. Stop booing. What are you booing Kevin Knox for? I bet you wish you could take back your boos for KP, for Kristaps Porzingis. I bet you wish you never booed KP on draft night in 2015. Why? Because you wanted the Knicks to draft Justice Winslow. You wanted the Knicks to draft Emmanuel Mudiay. You want Knicks to draft Stanley Johnson? Yeah, all picks that were picked after KP that the Knicks fans wanted. I always remember this. Knicks fans, we gotta get Justice Winslow, man. He's an all NBA defender. He's gonna be great. You know what? Justice Winslow has turned into a great defender for the Miami Heat. But he can't score a lick. He averages 5 points a game. So, Knicks fans, stop being so quick to be ticked off. Stop being so quick to pull the trigger on hostility, man. Respect the process, damn it. Oh, goodness. Thank you. You all can leave one by one. Get out of my interrogation room. Good stuff. You notice how I didn't ask the Knicks fans if they wanted a cup of coffee or a sip of water? They don't deserve it. Those Knicks fans, they're restless. They're hostile. I'm a Knicks fan. Can you see that Knicks tattoo? I'm a diehard Knicks fan, baby. New York forever. But even I know, man, the Knicks aren't winning a championship anytime soon. That false hope is what gets you in trouble as a fan. Every year, we signed Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah. We're gonna win a championship. 2011. We signed Carmelo Anthony. Now we're gonna win a championship. A couple years ago, we signed Courtney Lee. That's the missing piece to win a championship for the Knicks. God, man, you know how hard it is to win a championship. Don't look at the Warriors because what they're doing is incredible. But in the NBA, do you know how hard it is to build a championship team? Like not go ahead and sign free agents to win a championship, like the Celtics did in 2008. But to build a like how the Warriors did it, to build a championship team from scratch through the draft. Develop homegrown talent. It's hard, man. It's very hard. So, and even the Warriors, they had to go out and get a free agent eventually because even their hometown talent, developing their hometown talent wasn't enough. We're going in a different direction in the NBA, man. To build your core and to build your nucleus to win a championship, you got to do it through the draft. You got to develop through the draft. Develop your players that you draft, which is I like this Knicks group in terms of their player development coaches and team. I like what they're doing, especially Fizz. He's noted for his player development. But just to get your team in the position to win a championship, it's got to be through the draft. And I think obviously in 2015, KP was the start. Last year, Frank Ntilikina. You need one of those elite on-ball defenders and off-ball defenders, just elite defenders in general. You need one of those on your team to compete for a championship. And we have that in Frank Ntilikina. And, Tim Hardaway Jr., who's, needs scoring on your team. We have that. I mean, obviously we signed Tim Hardaway Jr., but we drafted him originally. I'll count that as part of the homegrown team. The players that we developed through the draft. Damian Dotson, last year's pick in the second round. I like what he brings to the table, also defensively as well. Now, Kevin Knox. So, I mean, Kevin Knox is the piece that's going to bring everything together. To do everything point forward. And then again, next year we're hopefully going to have a high draft pick as well. And there's your core: KP, Frank Ntilikina, Kevin Knox, Tim Hardaway Jr., and next year's draft pick. And then the key after that is to develop all those players into a championship caliber team. And then when the time is right, whether it be next summer or the summer after that, bring that top tier free agent in to play with that young group that's developing. And there's your championship. There's your team that's competing for a championship. And I forgot to mention that to the Knicks fans in the interrogation room. But the Knicks' goal, their main goal right now is to shed cap space and be ready to be a player, free agency-wise, in 2019. Because that summer of 2019, next summer, there's some free agents. One of them wants to come play for the Knicks, Kyrie Irving. So what the Knicks need to do is to keep developing their young kids and make their young group, their young nucleus, attractive to free agents, a.k.a. a Kyrie. So when Kyrie sees Kevin Knox, point forward, running the offense as a 19-year-old for the New York Knicks, and Frank Ntilikina locking up elite shooting guards in this league, and Tim Hardaway Jr. toning his shot selection and, taking better shots, and then KP coming back from injury to gel and mesh with those three players I just mentioned, Kyrie's going to look at that team and be like, yo, the Knicks front office and organization is doing it the right way. They have something over there, man. They have some young players that are playing well. They have some young players that are committed to defense. They have some young players that know how to put the ball in the basket. damn, that Coach Fizz, he knows what he's doing. Maybe let me come over and sign with Coach Fizz in the Knicks. That's how you become attractive to free agents. You develop your players, you stick to your plan, you stick to the process, you play defense, and you have a good coaching staff that is player friendly. And that's the Knicks coaching staff of Fizz, led by Coach Fizz. Scott Perry and Steve Mills have a plan, they have a process, and they have a bunch of young players that are committed to getting better, committed to playing defense, and committed to playing team-winning basketball. What more can you ask for as a Knicks fan? That's why I'm telling you, Knicks fans, man, respect the process. Kyrie, keep watching the Knicks. We're getting ready for you to come sign with us. We're trying to be as attractive as possible, for other free agents. Again, Knicks fans and Knicks and free agents and anyone that just follows the Knicks, respect the process. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is time for 1 second. It is time for What's the Case on the Base with the attorney's players to add in fantasy baseball. Number 1, Rich Hill from the Los Angeles Dodgers. He's back from the DL. Him and Clayton Kershaw, they're both back from the DL around the same time. And now Kershaw and Rich Hill, they're ready to push the Dodgers into the postseason. It's almost the All-Star break, so about a half a season left, about 3 months left. The Dodgers, it's time for them to, make a push. And Rich Hill and Clayton Kershaw, they're going to be the two guys to lead that Dodgers rotation. Everybody's got Clayton Kershaw, though, but Rich Hill is still on a lot of waiver wires. He's going to... Right now, he's struggling because he missed a lot of the season. Before he got hurt, he was struggling. But last year, he had a 3.32 ERA from the left side. He's hard to read. Strikes out a lot of people because that lefty motion, that wind up for hitters, it's hard to get a read on. Hey, if you have patience, if you have other pitchers on your team that are performing well for you, and you can afford to take a chance and be patient with somebody, take a chance on Rich Hill because he's getting healthy and he's getting back to form. Rich Hill, I like him to have a huge second half. Number 2, Yan Gomes, catcher for the Indians. He's one of the better hitting catchers, for a position that doesn't offer many of them. There's not many great hitting catchers in fantasy baseball. But Gomes is hitting .254, 9 home runs, 24 RBIs. So the power's there. The average is as good as you can ask for from a catcher. .254, almost .260 for a catcher. It's pretty solid, man. You look at the catchers in fantasy baseball. It's Gary Sanchez, Buster Posey, Salvador Perez, Wilson Contreras. Other than that, it's a bunch of Mike Zunino from Seattle. He's another one that offers some power. But other than that, it's just a lot of inconsistency at the catcher position. And what Yan Gomes offers is consistency. And at the catcher position, that's all you can ask for. It's consistency, and that's what Yan Gomes offers. Number 3, Jesus Aguilar, Milwaukee Brewers. He's about to smash his career high in home runs. He's already mashed his career high in home runs that he set last year. He had three more RBIs, and he'll tie his career high from last year. He's hitting 300 with 16 homers and 50 RBIs. He's killing it, man. He's killing it. And he has a lot of protection as well in that Milwaukee Brewers lineup. Man, it's crazy that this guy is still on some people's waiver wires. And he's hitting 300 with 16 homers. What? I won't lie to you. Before this season, I heard of him a little bit, just from playing fantasy baseball last year. But I never knew about Jesus Aguilar. And I had plenty of opportunities to pick him up. I just never did. And man, I wish I did because he's killing it. Jesus Aguilar, Milwaukee Brewers, hitting 300, 16 homers, 50 RBIs. That's somebody that can help you win your league. If he's on your waiver wire, stop watching this show and go pick him up. Number 4, John Jay, Arizona Diamondbacks. Last year with the Cubs, he hit 296. Solid year, great year. For some reason, the Cubs let him go. And since joining the Diamondbacks this year, he's hitting 303. 66 at bats, 20 hits, which leads to a 303 batting average. Always been a solid hitter. He's always been a scrappy hitter. Somebody that gets on base, somebody that gets you the singles and the doubles. And now he's with the Diamondbacks in that potent lineup. The Snakes, like they call him out there in Arizona. Hey, he's getting opportunities as everyday left fielder for Arizona. So keep riding his hot bat until it's not hot no more. Then you pick up someone else. But right now, John Jay is the guy you pick up. 303. Love me some high batting average. 5, Keona Kela, closer for the Texas Rangers. He's one of the more reliable closers in the game. 19 for 19 in save opportunities this year. Just 3 earned runs, 8 hits, 7 walks across his last 17 appearances. And Texas Rangers, they've been hot lately, man. They've been picking up the wins. They've been picking up the pace and wins, which has made, Keller more relevant. It's given him more opportunities for saves. He might end up getting traded at the deadline because, the Texas Rangers, they're going to be a seller. They're not going anywhere. So, but right now, Keanu Keller, on that Rangers team, he is the closer. He's one of the best in baseball. Again, 19 for 19 in save opportunities. If you need a closer and he's available, can't ask for much more from your closer position than Keanu Keller, 19 for 19 in save opportunities. And number 6, Gerardo Parra, Colorado Rockies. Over his last 10 games, he's 12 for 32, which is a .375 batting average. 4 doubles, 2 home runs, 17 RBIs. And on the road, this season, Parra has been unconscious. 41 for 128, which comes out to a .320 batting average. 3 home runs, 17 RBIs. But at home, that's self-explanatory. At home, Parra plays at Coors Field, where the ball flies out of the park. So Parra is going to kill it at Coors Field, obviously. And on the road, he's been killing it. And he's hot, again, over his last 10 games, hitting .375. So take a look at Gerardo Parra. Because boy, oh boy, those Coors Field hitters, they send the ball out of the park, man. They hit the ball out of the park. No question about it. All right, looks like the sentencing is in. The jury, guys are good. All right, the jury has decided on its verdict. Let's see what it says. All right, decision is in. The verdict is in. The jury has sentenced all of you guys to 25 years to life of eating buffalo wings, drinking ice-cold beer, and enjoying sports. This is Sports in Order. I'm the attorney at sports. This is my courtroom. The jury's out. Peace.